Good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 14 of 21-day mindfulness session, Mindfulness, the Journey to Greatness by Institute Wellness Group and Reiki Center of Excellence for the Science of Happiness, IT Kharagpur. So let us invite our teacher, Saamdu Chetri, to start the session.
Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Anuvag. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, all the viewers out there. My greetings of love and kindness and compassion to all of you. May you be well and happy. Like we do every day, let's try to check in our three parts of ourselves, the whole body, the mind, and the heart. Give a sign, the feelings, calmness, peace, lightness, joy, happiness, love. These are the emotions we need to arise in our system. So please listen to the bell and begin visiting your parts of the body. All right, and relax, visit your heart, raise love, go to your mind and become calm. Toe to head, head to toe. Feel and relax your whole system. Arise love in your heart and bring calmness to your mind. Okay, friends, so we begin our today. Today is the 14th day, 23rd of August 2020. We are on the 14th day. I hope this is the second week we are completing. I hope the journey has been meaningful for you all. Even if you picked up just 10% of what we have been discussing all these 2 weeks, it's going to be greatly beneficial for you when you are passing out from your institutes and going out to work. Because this is for now and for forever. What I'm trying to bring home to you is not just for now. If you can transform yourself with the repetitions of the habit, the repetitions of the activities that will change it to habit, then there is this opportunity of becoming greater human beings very easily. So let's start our session today. Again, to remind all of you, I would still take this pain to remind you that when you get up in the morning on your bed, try to go back and rest your back against the wall or a big post, and then send your gratitude to the universe for giving you a chance of 24 hours in front of you. Be grateful to your parents, thank them for taking care of you, for giving you love, for protecting you, and thank your friends and others who have made a difference in your life. Then you're doing this all by closing your eyes. Then you reflect yesterday. What did you do yesterday? And if that yesterday came today, what better things would you do today? And then reflect today what you're going to do completely today. And then put a resolve or an intention. What do you want to do today? So this resolve and intention that we talk about is for every day. Okay. So today you would be doing this. Like yesterday, we left with an intention, with a request that you should carry throughout until now that we begin to take another class. Nevertheless, let's, it's so important because, and this resolve or intentions that we put every day is actually confirming our self-affirmations, okay? Self-affirmations are to build your inner qualities. So the intention that we put every day or forever would be reinforcing our self-affirmations. So your intention could be, today I will deeply listen and not speak anything before I completely listen. This could be an intention, right? So then, of course, please meditate 6 minutes. Just focus on your breath in and out, and then feel calmness, feel goodness as you breathe in and out. Just flow with the breath. Keep breath as your object. So your mind should focus in the breath as your object. How is it going in? How is it coming? As it goes in, it raises your stomach. As it comes out, it ebbs or reduces your stomach, all that. Okay? After this, what you do is you rub your hands. After 6 minutes of meditation, a hard rub, very hard rub, okay? Generate some heat in your hand and put it onto the eyes. Then slide down onto the bed and then raise your head slightly. Keep your hands parallel to your legs in the air, and then start a cyclic kick. Full stretch of your leg, cyclic kick. Do it as much as you can, okay? As many times as you can. After this, of course, you are out of the bed, and then you might want to rehearse your affirmations that are pasted around in your bathroom, around your bedroom, wherever. And then, you then, of course, go out for your exercise. 30 minutes of sweating exercise. After the exercise, you take a mindful bath. And I've been explaining how you take a mindful bath. I'll not repeat. Then you go and sit for your family prayers or meditation, whatever you do together. Do it together. Then you have a tea, or you can have tea with the breakfast, but also have a mindful drinking of the tea. That also we explain. Then you need to, of course, go for your breakfast. All should jointly sit for breakfast and eat. It should be, again, a mindful eating, nobody talking, preparing the breakfast, putting in the mouth, hands resting on the table or on your thighs. And as you chew, you need to reflect from where it began its growth, right from land, the abundance of the sun, the loving work of the farmer, the earth's minerals, the air, the water, everything you need to think about until it comes to your table, really thanking, being grateful for everyone. By then you would have chewed more than 27 times. Swallow it. Half the food is digested in your mouth. That means there's less of a problem or a pressure to our guts, because guts is supposed to be the second part of our whole system, very important system. Anyway, then you start your 8 works of your time. What you do during your holidays, I have no idea. When you're back in the college, in the university, in the institute, then you need to spend your 8 hours purely for your educative matters. Then you have another 8 hours, which you use for rehearsing, for games, for sports, for reading some novels, listening to music. Do not spend your time uselessly hanging on the social media just to check on how many likes and dislikes. No, not at all. That's not good. Who said what? Who played a dirty game, or who acted, or some kind of news or information that doesn't help us to translate them into wisdom. Those should be avoided. Then make sure that take this as a resolve of almost every day, or this as your self-affirmation, that you will deeply listen to anyone who talks to you, and not prepare your mind for any intention to answer. You will only listen, and you'll only provide answer after the person would have completely spoken. So during the process, when you listen, you are not going to prepare in your mind a question. Okay, like often when you go to a teaching lecture and you feel very bored, or you start to something's been told and you have a question in your mind and you continue to form the question by the time the teacher would have spoken 5 minutes, and then you have another question. Then you miss that part, you have another question. So this is a challenge that we all live with. And that's why this research has proven that for one lesson to completely 100% pick up for people who can't concentrate, they will have to go 20 times for the same class. So try to make this point of deep listening and loving speech. All happiness begins from here. Okay? This is a biggest step towards happiness, peace, and joy. Spend some time listening to your music, reading novels, inspirational books. At least spend 30 minutes a day. And now at home you can spend more. Then you have again mindful eating of the dinner. Then please sit for meditation with the family. Someone guides both these times in the morning as well as in the evening. At least make it a 12 minutes of mindful meditation, and then do a sharing out of the heart of the day, how you felt. Anything, that feeling that's remaining in your heart needs to come out. That's the time where you throw out whatever it is. Do not bother, just throw it out. Okay, but you should make a rule in the family. No one will criticize, no one will judge, no one will comment. They will only listen to each other. That's it. Then you try to have noble silence, okay, until the breakfast tomorrow, unless you have an emergency or you have very little children at home who you need to attend, then just attend and be silent again. So this is very, very important. Okay. Then on your bed, please do scanning, your body scanning. Very important. This also helps your concentration. If you have insomnia, it will help you to go to sleep easier. And during the day also, you should practice this habit of scanning your body from any part. You can start from your eyes and then go to your brains, or from eyes you can jump down to your feet. Doesn't matter where you begin, but begin somewhere and then go along. You may want to do hands, then legs, maybe head, then chest, maybe the lower part of your body, and things like that. So it doesn't really matter, but to remember, to remember is better to take a pattern once, then break the pattern, because it helps you to concentrate and rejuvenate your body system. So break the pattern, and if you have started from toe to head, now you start from hands to head to lower part of the body and legs upwards. So try to change this so that you concentrate on the parts of each part of your body. All right. With this, let's continue for today's intention. Today's intention is, I live by the true purpose of my life. So we tried to find what was our purpose 2 days ago, and we walked through becoming a child as of now and walking to 80 years of our life and trying to reflect what could be the purpose of my life. So we have found some kind of purpose for us, but let's go deeper into it. Maybe these questions that I'm going to throw onto you might help you to deduct, to find more of your journey ahead. Remember, this is a journey. We cannot achieve everything at one point of time. As human beings, every process we take, mindful process that we walk through, that is meaningful, and that needs to be made meaningful, and that is the way that we need to constantly be changing with the environment, with the situation, but not with our values. Okay, so let's go to the next. So here are some daunting questions and information or statements. The first one, now this when you realize all this, it will help us concretize our purpose of our life. The journey of a life becomes easier to get to the greatness. So we must discover what we can do. Many of us, we have not discovered what we can do. I had a dream to teach, but I never had the opportunity to teach until something like maybe now 15 years ago. I started a Gross National Happiness Center, and I was teaching all very elderly people who came from outside of Bhutan, from the world across. And many CEOs from India came. So that was the only chance I had entered into teaching. This was a deep thing I realized. And now coming to IIT Kharagpur, I'm teaching, and I feel very proud when young people like you tell me, "Oh, sir, you teach well. You have a good way of, helping us learn." When they say you have a good way of making us understand, I feel very proud. And then I realize I've discovered something of my own self. I can be a good teacher. Likewise, there are many things that we need to discover in our lives. There may be many potentials which we have not uncovered simply because of the circumstances or simply because we have never taken enough attention towards it. Okay? So we need to take enough attention towards it, how we can bring a change to understand, to discover our own abilities, what we can do better in our lives. Because what you can do better, this is something that will be, a part of your journey in life. Okay. So what am I willing to do and why? So you need to also ask this question: what am I willing to do and why? Now, there are many things probably you might be willing to do, but you should ask the question, why? Then you concretize yourself. Like it's going to a town and you see so many beautiful things. You like to buy that, buy this, buy this. Now, if you have enough money, like the sheikhs, they take their 10, 15 wives and go to Europe. And of course, they're not going out to buy themselves. They hire somebody to, and they just describe things. They go out into the town, these hired guys, they come with, loads of things, and they just throw in the hotel room, and these sheikh ladies, they just pick and throw the rest. They just pick what they like. If they have bought of, something like ₹1,00,000 worth, maybe they'll take 10,000 and throw the rest of it. I mean, this is a kind of situation in the rich world, where they can throw. But then we need to ask, in the same way, why am I going to buy things? Then you are focusing, oh, I need this, I require this. Why? For this. Then you are more willing to pay attention to it and only pay money towards it. So what am I willing to do in terms of your own activities, in terms of your own purpose in life? You might be willing to help children outside, in your community. Why? Because you love children, or because they are so poor that they don't have money to get into tutorial classes. So you want to help them. See? Now this willingness is a part of our purpose in life. So we need to find more of this and give a trial in all of this to deduct and to discover what I can do better. Okay, so coming to the first issue, if you can go this way, then you will find your deeper, you go into deeper self, and you will get an insight into what you are good at. Do I need to develop my consciousness? Now that I can't answer that, but you should ask yourself, do I need to develop my consciousness? Now, if I ask myself, I'll definitely say, yes, I need to develop my consciousness, because I have not discovered all that is there in my subconscious mind, which is the most powerful mind, that from zero is, from the time we were conceived in mother's womb to the time we are born and we are 8 years old, whatever we have captured is coded in our genes, in our subconscious mind. It's coded there, and that becomes the central part, that will actually guide us through. So if we want to discover that, our subconscious mind, which I have not completely done, maybe I have not even touched 5-10% of it, I still have a long journey to go. So we all have a long journey to go unless we discover our subconscious mind to find out what were all those things that we have actually learned and come in our genes, we need to decode, we need to find now. When we go into deep into ourselves, we tend to find different purposes that arise in our minds. And then we need to again ask this question, am I willing and why? And, can I do it? These are going to again give us a possibility to answer and find our right purpose. How honest and integrated I am in the thoughts of others. Now, this may look out of the blue, but you see, when you are not honest with your own self, or when you are not yourself, then what happens is that the thoughts for others is also never honest and integrated. So we need to develop this. We need to develop a belief in ourselves. My perceptions, my thoughts, if I'm consciously taking, if they are grounded like I am, then of course my honesty and integrity towards others will always be good. I will never be talking at the back of any friends, because that's the worst thing that we all can do. We should never talk about someone who is not present. And this is how the rumors, the fight, the quarrels, everything arises out of it. What I do myself, if I hear someone who comes and tells me that, I used to, of course now nobody does that. I used to, when somebody came and told me, oh, so-and-so boy is talking about this about you. And I would ask him, my dear friend, if you think you are my friend, what did you tell him as a reply? Why are you coming and telling me this? I haven't heard directly. He hasn't told me. For me, that doesn't exist. This is how I handle myself. It will always come in our lives, but we need to reflect rightly and do things rightly. We need to be honest about everybody. If that friend told me about something about that guy, he has an intention. An intention could be to break my relation with that guy who may be my friend. So unless you analyze yourself, don't try to get into the belief. Like Buddha said, don't believe anything that you hear from me. That's what he said. Try to experience yourself, what I say, and then you can believe or disbelieve. So this is what we need to do. What we hear from others, we need to reconfirm ourselves. What we see sometimes may not be real, because what we see is perception, it's a feeling. Like if you're given a picture of a deadly looking guy, you might say, oh, he's a horror, he must be killer, he must be murderer. But when you meet him in reality, he must be such a gentle, such a humble, such a beautiful person. So what we see generally, like the perception I talked on the second day, our perceptions can go wrong. So try to find the truth. What do I choose to do and why? What do I choose to do and why? So anything that you choose in your life, you need to ask the question, why am I doing this? Why should I be doing this? You have a good answer for it. So it's peeling like an onion, peeling every leaf with all this. Okay? What is my level of motivation? Motivation in what? All these areas that we're talking about. Motivation in my education. How much am I motivated towards really passing my degree? Am I really interested in this? Why am I doing this? Is this for my parents or for myself? If you think it's for the parents, and if you think that it is now too late to go back, it's all right. You need to do your engineering because you need to earn something. But you can always have your passions developed where that can become a second part of your life. And over the time, you can decide to choose to continue to be an engineer or leave that part and take the path of your passion. So many people have changed their lives. I know of so many who have changed their lives. If you go to Plum Village in France, You will suddenly realize that a medical doctor has become a nun. One of the famous architects from Texas in the US has become a monk. Things like that. Maybe a great scientist has become a monk. They have just given up life, realizing their deep consciousness. They have realized, they've gone into their subconscious and realized. But now, by being there, they have taken another journey altogether. But I'm not asking you all to be monks or nuns. But you find your passion. It could be singing. You might be a great singer. Singing can bring a lot of money, like a shoe polisher. I just happened to see a clip. Is a great artist. He's painted the judges, and he comes to the room and gives one of the best performance of his life. Probably his life from a shoemaker has gone to something else. I'm sure he will stop doing his shoe polishing work. So we can think about our passion, and then we can not derail ourselves, but we can walk parallelly onto the two rails. And then life becomes much more stable. Life becomes much more beautiful because your passion on one side, you have a career, profession on one side. So passion and profession, when you can bring them together and take them on the rail together, you're going to nourish your life at a much, much higher level. So this is a journey to greatness. So try to find in whatever you do a motivation to do it. Try to dedicate. Try to intensify and give time for it. So the did, duration, time that you give, intensification that you require, and the dedication that you require. So did, D-I-D-T. Try to follow did to motivate yourself. Okay. What is my highest goal in life? Am I geared towards it, and how? So you need to ask, what is my highest goal in life? Am I following that path? Remember that journey we took as a child, what the child's advice was to you, and what is the advice of you as an 80-year-old man to yourself? So this is where we try to find our highest goal in life. And you need to realize that, am I putting a stone towards it? Am I collecting a stone towards this higher goal? So what that higher goal could be, I don't know. Could be just trying to discover your subconscious. And for that, of course, you need to sit, be mindful, meditate, go deeper within. Go within. Can I assimilate and move like the flocks of birds? If not, why not? Communication and coordination here are very important, not with outside world, but with your own inner world. So if you look into I don't know, I forgot the name I forgot the name of this flock of birds. They really give you a wonderful play in the air, You're a wonderful play. You mesmerizing. They swap, and it's not one, two. They're in thousands, They make beautiful formations and they're sweeping. We feel like they might hit each other and fall, but nothing happens, and they're changing into, I don't know, into a beautiful forms of circular, triangle, different forms, different really geometrical forms they come with. Can we do that as human beings? Have you seen ants when they walk? They walk in so much in numbers, but they never collide. But we human beings collide all the time. We always have problems all the time. So can we also become like the flock of birds? If you see in the ocean life, you also see, huge amount of, fish moving together in cluster like this, and they don't hit each other. They're moving together in cluster. How can they do this? This can only be done by two things. That's communication, which is not verbal, maybe in senses. It can be verbal, and then of course coordination, which you need to respect. Do I work on consensus? Now see, many things I know this, but then often it is important when you are in a family. When you're alone, you don't need this consensus. But we are not Robinson Crusoe. We live in family, we live in groups, we live with community, so we live with others. And in such a space, when we are deciding something, we need to take consensus. You can't think, it's my body, my wish. No, your body first belongs to your parents, because without them, it wouldn't have come onto the planet. Many young people commit suicide, and I feel very sorry, very sad about it. They don't realize. They think it's their life and they're doing it. No, they're bringing pain to everybody. They don't realize this. They bring first pain, sufferance to their parents. They bring sufferance to extended family. They bring sufferance to the area that they live, to the community. If it is institute, to the institute, to the friends in the institute, people who knew you. Everybody suffers because of your one ignorant act. That is totally an act of ignorance. Never try to do that. Never try to punish yourself in any way. You have no right to do that. Okay? Never punish yourself in any way. And mind you, learning is until you die, there's no limit to learning. If something went wrong this year, what is 1 year in a lifespan of 90 years? Nothing. Don't be broken down. Don't worry about it. But realize, I've lost a year. My friends are now 1 year senior. But how does it matter? It's only if you're pride-filled, egoist, you feel bad. Otherwise, you'll not feel bad. Why? Because you recognize that I failed, I've made a mistake, I'm falling short. No worries. No worries. I will now take a resolve to complete my education. And I'll give all this time and not while away my time. If I have problems, I have my faculty, I have my friends, I have others who can help me. So I will go and ask them. It doesn't matter. Often we have this problem, pride. It's out of the pride. Often we get lost in a town and we don't want to ask anybody. We try to guess and move around and try and find out things. There's no problem asking someone, dear friend, can you guide me this way? It's all right. Like this morning, my wife was saying that one of our daughters, they call us fathers, so my younger brother's daughter, she was invited by one of my niece to our home to eat. And, we call it munka, it's long drumsticks. So the house had prepared drumstick cutting into short pieces. And she didn't realize how to eat that. And she was chewing all that drumstick and swallowing it. And later, when she was finishing the food, she realized that others had chewed and kept on the side of the plate, So she was so reluctant to ask because it must have been out of shyness, out of ignorance, really, not wanting to ask and make the guest, the host, feel bad of the guest. But it's okay to ask. Wherever I go, if I see something new, I ask, what do I do? How do I begin? Like when I was first time invited back in 1988 to a Bengali family to eat, I didn't know. There were so many things coming around. So I didn't know where to start from. And I asked them, can you help me where I start from? And I started using both my hands. And they started to laugh. And I said, why? And they said, we never use our left hand. So I had to ask for forgiveness and try with only my right hand. In our world, we do it differently. So it's no harm. You're not going to change. You're not going to be small. You're not going to be, nothing. You are still yourself. You are still a great person, a unique human being. Just give your best. Realize, pause, realize, reflect. Pause, reflect, realize. Always possible. Always possible. Pause, reflect, realize it. Okay. In realization, you change into motivation and start doing it. Okay. Pause. Oh, this has happened. Pause. Then you reflect. Why has this happened? This way the cause. How is it affecting? This way. Okay, I will realize from today, my routine is going to be ta 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 ta. I'm not going to fall short or back. Okay? So, in our world, we need to really consider this fact that we cannot be in isolation. So, we need to really take consensus of many things that we do along and work along. How social am I in my expertise? So, you see, social being, we are all social beings. We need to realize, we call ourselves extrovert, introvert. This is rubbish. It's not true. We create that ourselves. Every introvert can be one great leader. World has proven that. It's our mindset. We need to break through our mindset and try to be social. Try to participate in anything. It's all right. Be there. Keep your smile alive. People will come to you. They'll start talking to you. But if you stay very gloom and serious, people hesitate. You see? Why people don't feel bad when I just address anybody or when I work, I always smile. I always greet everybody wherever I am. Doesn't matter. I don't get reply. So what? I'm greeting them without any expectation. I'm doing this for my own self. See? So try to be a social human being all the time. Try to see how good are you at it. If you are not, improve on it. Improve on it. Okay, friends, we have talked quite long on this. But now let's get into our visualization mindful practice. Okay. As you listen to the bell, sit comfortably with your eyes closed or drooped, your back straight, chin slightly tucked in, without any stress on your neck, legs grounded if you're sitting on a chair, or knees touching if you're sitting on a high cushion, tongue lightly touching the upper palate, teeth not biting, lips closed. Feel your shoulders and relax them completely and watch your breath. Remember to keep your hand palms open upwards and feel the energy entering from the center of the palms. Let us take 3 deep breaths in and out. So remember, take 5 seconds at least to, or at least 4 seconds to breathe in. Hold it there for 2 to 3 seconds and slowly 4 to 5 seconds, let it go. Okay, and hold it for 2-3 seconds before you take in another breath. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, begin. Please feel calm and relaxed and take your awareness to the feet. Feel the suppleness of your soles. Wriggle your toes, feel the ankles, calf muscles, thighs, and take your mind, focus to the entire legs and ask them to soften and relax. Thank them for carrying you to the places of your love, the places of your need, since you began to walk on them. Straighten your lower back and your upper back and completely relax your shoulders. Feel the hands on your lap and ask them to soften and relax. Thank them for enabling you to carry, touch, feel, receive, embrace, ride, drive, cycle, give, and so on. Move your awareness to your neck. Gently, slightly move to find the right position for it and relax the neck. Move your tongue in your mouth. With your lips closed, slide your jaws from left to right a few times and feel relaxed. Take your thoughts and focus to your head and see if the mind is judging or distracted. Pause, recognize whatever the mind is doing, and realize by asking the mind to be still, clear, calm, and powerful, as well peaceful. Now take your awareness to your heart and see what the heart is doing. Pause. Recognize if there are any agitation or negative feeling or emotions that's holding at this point of time, and be aware. Let it go. Just let it go and realize. Relax, arise love, joy, and peace that have no boundary and expectation, but are pure, humble, inclusive, and profound. Please bring your body, mind, and speech in perfect oneness and imagine your loved ones and send your heart along with wishing them acceptance, truth, love, joy, and peace. Say in your thoughts for them as you visualize them in your minds, may you be awakened from forgetfulness and transcend the path, worry and anxiety, sorrow or unwholesome past. May you be free from fear and danger. May you be in peace and free from sufferings. May you be in abundance always. May you be loved and cared forever. Continue taking your breath in and out. Keep focusing your mind in your breath Flow with the breath. In, say calm. Out breath, say composed. Calm for the mind, composure for the body. So in calm and out composed. Imagine you're sitting outside of your home, looking towards the west, and the sun is almost setting. It has started to throw beautiful colors into the sky at the far distance horizon. All the multicolors that you can think of are thrown onto the sky, mainly the colors of yellow with orange. You also see the tint of blue, white, pinkish, reddish, a violet color. You have an intention now to be nourished with the goal of your life. You have a goal in your life. With this goal, you just stood up from where you're sitting, and without realizing, you become very light, and you're lifting into the air slowly and gently. You are 5 meters above the ground. You are now 20 meters above the ground, 50 meters above the ground. You're still rising higher and higher and higher. Now you're 500 meters above the ground. You're still climbing up. You're still rising up and up. You're now 1,000 meters above from where you were sitting. You gently start to float yourself towards the western horizon, where there's so beautiful colors. You're passing through in the air. You see the birds going for roosting. Below you, you see wonderful forest of greenery that's becoming darker blue, darker green, because the night is not far away. You feel a great amount of energy that's coming up from those huge forests, that's helping you rejuvenate yourself in the air, that's helping you float in the air. It is such a beautiful experience, a blissful experience. You're filled with joy. You're filled with peace of mind. You are in complete happiness. As you're moving on, suddenly you see a very huge opening and a hill nearby. And you feel like descending. So you descended down slowly, very slowly. You're now 500 meters down. You're 200 meters down. You're 50 meters down. You're 20 meters down. Now you're only 5 meters above the ground. And you gently touch the softness of the ground that's carpeted with green, beautiful wheat grass. And there is an invitation in your heart, towards that mountain, towards that hill that you just saw from the air. There seems to be something there. So you start taking a journey from this openness towards your left, where the mountain, where the hill top looks so inviting. You're walking, there's a small stream and a light pedestrian kind of a wooden bridge built by two locks. You're walking over them, water, spring water is rushing down, and you can hear that beautiful sound of the rushing stream. It is sparkling, hitting onto the rocks and jumping out. Few of the drops land on your bare feet, and you feel very refreshed and rejuvenated. You continue your walk. You arrive at the bottom of the hill, and suddenly you realize that there is stairs going up. There's also beautiful flowers on both sides of that stairs. You gently begin climbing the stairs. You're climbing, feeling even more rejuvenated, feeling so very light, so very blissful, so very great. You're halfway up, still climbing. You're almost there, and you suddenly see two people standing there with something in their hands. It's like 1,000 stairs up. So finally, when you land, there are two very senior people who come and garland you and invite you somewhere inside that dome-like space. When you're escorted in, suddenly you realize that there are hundreds of children sitting there with their plates empty. They've been all waiting for you. They're all applaud. They're so grateful that you've arrived. It's their dinner time. You've been requested to put food in their plates, which you very religiously did. And others helped you. In a little while, you got the signal that it is now time for you to proceed. So you've been escorted from within the dome. The stairs go down, but they are hidden. You don't see anything outside. And when you arrive at the bottom of that hill through a tunnel, there is another big tunnel that leads somewhere. And so these people who escort you up to there bid you farewell, and you continue your journey in peace, in gratitude, and you continue. Suddenly you see water around you. It's a dome under the ocean. You continue walking for another 10 minutes, and then you arrive in a dome, a big dome. That tunnel arrives into a big dome under the water. There is a beautiful seat for you where you're invited to come and sit, but you don't see anybody. And in the center of the dome, you see a very high chair, beautifully decorated. You see plants in the dome, beautiful plants. Outside from the dome, you can see the life, the ocean life moving around. The fish, the beautiful colored, different species. other animals of the sea. As you make yourself comfortable, suddenly there's a voice from the central dome, and you see a figure of very high oneness. The figure looks at you with complete love, peace, and smiles at you and says, all your purpose and goals are fulfilled. And then just vanishes. You are slowly drawn to the other tunnel and to a dome from where you come out of the waters, and suddenly you realize you are above the ocean. The horizon is still there, the sun is really now getting up, setting. The colors are beautiful. Finally you rise a little higher than above the ocean to about 20 meters up, and you take your eastward home, fly, start to fly, and then suddenly you see the beach, beautiful golden beach with the setting sun is so very welcoming. You slowly descend and feel that softness of this beautiful sand onto your feet. How grateful you feel for the universe, for the oneness that has given so much of opportunity for you. After this, you again gently rise into the air, high up, up and up, up and up. You again get to your 1,000 meters up above the ground, and now fly homewards. It's become, the sun is really set, it's really dusk, dawn now. But you can still see your way. So you fly, you arrive in your area, and you begin to descend down, feeling totally peaceful, totally happy, totally in love with this abundance of nature. And you feel so nourished because your goals have been achieved. Your purpose has been achieved. Now you're 500 meters above the ground. You're still descending. You are now 200 meters above the ground, still descending. You are 50 meters above the ground. You're still descending. You are now 20 meters above the ground, still descending. You're now 5 meters above the ground. And you see your chair. You slowly land from the place that you took off. Now, please bring back your awareness to your body. Take a deep breath in and out. Start rubbing your hands as you take deep breaths in and out. Open your eyes halfway, hold it there. Massage your legs. Stretch them if you're sitting on a floor or even on a chair. Stretch them, massage them, and slowly and completely open your eyes. Thank you, friends, for listening today. Let's complete our last part of the journey. So the last one, as usual, is my Dashi Dilek to you all. I forgot to tell the meaning of the word Shu. Shu is a very highly respected word. May I. in a most respectable way. Shu means I'm surrendering, I'm giving, I'm saying. So it has multiple usages. So Tashidile Shu means all the auspiciousness for you, I am um, putting as surrendering from my end to you. That's what it means. Difficult to explain, but that's the gist of the meaning. So here is my Tashidile Shu. May you be happy and well. May you be free from fear and any danger. May you be loved and free from hatred. May you bring happiness to the lives you touch. May you bring unconditional love to others and be loved and cared for. Let's sing our happiness song. 3, 2, 1, go. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. And I'm not in a hurry. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do. But I'm not in a hurry. Thank you, friends. I've taken your good 1 hour already. Tashidile, I love you all. Take care. And let's have. Thank you.
We had a wonderful session this evening. It's a great experience for us to learn about concretizing the journey to greatness. And thank you so much, sir, for making us aware of our level of motivation and for all those things. And here is a query from a student, Shivam Roy, sir. He asks that, sir, mostly IIT professors are very much serious at their work. In the process, they expect the students under their project guidance, especially MTech, to be very serious, new research works, etc. It leads to the rejection of many topics that I have sent for the project. Now total work is going to be done from home until December. Labs are not available here. Initially, it's submission of topic and finally topic rejected. Continuously going from past 1 month. My question is how to remain calm ourselves in these conditions of life because it is really frustrating.
So he's describing the background of his present work and he's asking, the question is, how can I be calm in this kind of situation, right? Like you need to ask this question to yourself. If I'm not calm, if I don't become cool, what can I do? Because the stress is going to block your brains. Level of stress, when you are frustrated like this, you get stress. The level of stress actually blocks you to do even more things, more good things in life, because there's less flow of blood in your head, in other important parts of your body. The flow of blood only comes into your hands and legs, because it's a time for fight or flight. Shall I leave this, run away, or shall I fight against this and do something? So what happens is that our mind stops working to its fullest. So we need to calm down, realize that I have this issue. I am in these circumstances. What is the best that I can do? You need to ask. And then, like I said, all the time I've been saying, breathing meditation is the best answer to anything. So every moment you feel a little disappointed or a little frustrated, just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths in and out. in that few deep breaths in and out, a realization will come. You calm down, continue your journey of life. Because by being frustrated, if we can achieve it, then we should all be frustrated. But we know we cannot. Because the more frustrated you become, the slower you're going to be. So the calmer you are, peaceful mind you have, calmer you are, your body systems, the more proficient you become because your brains are in full work. So every 2 hours, wherever you're working, my dear friend, get up, make a movement of your body every 2 hours. And then sit down and at least for 3 minutes, at least 3 minutes, just breathe in and breathe out calmly. Breathe in and breathe out. Just 3 minutes and you will be rejuvenated again. Continue your work. So frustration, worry, anxiety have no place in our lives because they're going to become stressful and they become our block in life. They become our barriers in life. So the only thing we can do is recognize, yes, this is what it is. And then when you recognize, you have some kind of answers. When you recognize, you're going to ask, these are the outcomes of this. So that's a recognition. When you recognize these are the outcomes, I'm getting frustrated. With frustration, what is going to happen? Something will happen. So this is the reflection. Now, when you reflect, you have an outcome. On the outcome, you need to realize now, because this is going to happen, this is what I must do. Okay. So in this process, there are only two things that you can do. One is calm your mind. To calm your mind, you take breaths in and out every 2 hours. Try to walk around, do a 3 minutes of mindful breathing in and out, and then continue your journey. Keep your mind as peaceful as possible. Do not worry, do not get frustrated, because the more you do, the more you become. Okay? Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. He says, thank you, sir. And here comes few queries from Sovik Mandal. Sir, you told that meat and dairy products are not good for our well-being. The reason for meat I can understand, but can you explain a bit more why dairy product is not good?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that question. Dairy product, when you talk about, there are many issues. Number one, what are they fed? You are all living in cities and towns. You get milk supplied by somebody else. We also get milk supplied, but this is not milk at all. Okay. We start to buy from Amul. We don't know what kind of milk that is, but let me tell you, all the farm, if you fly from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, you will only see forest in very limited area of entire India. Most of the land is occupied as agricultural land, housing, cities and towns. There's very little forest around. So where do the cows and animals graze? At home. What do they graze? Nothing green. It's all feed. It's all feed. What is feed? Feed is chemical. Okay? Feed is a chemical. So when a cow eats chemicals, what is produced is chemical. I think I told this example already. Maybe you didn't attend that day. That in Nepal, when cows died, they had to be thrown out because no one eats a dead cow, or even cow. No Hindu will touch cows' meat. So they had to be thrown away. And when you throw away, what happens is the vultures come to eat. But vultures started to die. And now there is a project since last almost 10 years now, a project or a little more, a project called the Vulture Project. What they did, they started to get the cows that are no more milking from the farms, village people who can't take it to the green grazing, and the cows began to be detoxified. Well, you know why? For more milk, cows are not only the feed, cows are shot with steroids, injection, steroids, so that cows give more milk. What is steroids? Chemical again. So what comes out as milk is chemical. That's milk, but mixed with chemical. Okay? And these cows, the research, they found out that it takes 5 complete years to detoxify them. And after that, when they die, they are fed to the vultures. If they died before, they were buried because it's not good for vultures. And now vultures population is coming back in Nepal. So, this is one. Chemicals in the cow. The product of the cow, the milk product, is all chemicals. Like the meat is all chemicals also. And now the research, it was actually started in India by Indian scientists. It went out, and later a doctor called Dr. Campbell, he did millions of study, 80 million study he only did in China. And he realized that casein, the milk that comes in, the milk called casein in milk, in cow milk or whatever milk it is, all milks, that is actually not good for our health. If it is increased 20% more, if you're taking for a long time now, you become cancerous. That 20% in excess, when you reduce, you can reduce your cancer cells. When you increase, you get cancerous. This has been proven scientifically. So diabetics, cancer are mainly caused by dairy and meat products. This is a research you can maybe just Google and say aging, and it is under the University of California, under the Medical School of Science, something like this. It's called aging. The department has given a presentation on this and how to go about it. Okay? So this is one research of many research. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. I guess he got the answer. And here comes another query from Tuhin Shubrapal. He tells us that, thank you for a wonderful journey. Just we have finished. While we are meditating with you, you are guiding us in such a beautiful way to think every day. But when I am practicing how to think,
Think what? Think your visualization. You need to imagine. This is all out of imagination. You need to imagine. You need to have an intention. What do you like to bring in your mind? You need to provide that imagination before you get into meditative practice. So imagine, get that imagination into you, close your eyes and you begin your practice. First important thing, if you're flying into the air, is to rise up and also make sure that you come back to the earth from where you began, so that your awareness comes back to you. This is the 2 important things. Otherwise, you can have visualizations of any kind. During the day, you see something very beautiful. You can add to that beauty something of your inner conscious, inner nature that just comes to your mind. Because many things that come to our mind is from the subconscious. So it will only bring good things for you. So you need to imagine. And that's the only way out to find your visualization practice. It can be anything. You can just imagine, build on stories. And imagination is another way of really fulfilling your greater journey of life. I hope that was okay.
sir, he's asking that how to imagine.
Oh dear. How to imagine? This would be a very difficult topic for me to answer because I've never thought on it, how to imagine. Because imagination, I thought, is a very natural process. Close your eyes and take your mind to Kharagpur now, wherever you are. Take your mind to Kharagpur. Go above in the air and try to visit Kharagpur and see Kharagpur. What do you see in Kharagpur? What do you like in Kharagpur? Now there's thunder and rain. So you see beautiful buildings, you're floating around, you're looking from top down. Okay, you're seeing beautiful buildings, the Nalanda U-shaped building, that hundreds and thousands of students around moving. There's football game going on in Tata ground. You see hundreds of cycles parked, beautiful colors. There are beautiful friends around, chatting and laughing, enjoying their lives. And I don't know what department you come from. Imagine your department. Say thank you to your teachers who are looking up to you and saying, wow, Guy, you are great. You will go very high in your life. Your friends enjoying your flight, looking up at you. Say hi to them. And then you come back again to the ground. You see, imagination, this is how you imagine. You can imagine anytime, anything, anywhere. All you need to do is think a little bit what you want. Like I wanted today was to tell you that all your purposes in life will be fulfilled. Then I quickly thought about an imagination part. You can imagine many ways. You can imagine, I don't know if you have seen mountains, go fly over the mountains and see the beauty of the waterfall. What are available in the mountains? Think about them. See the beautiful colors of the autumn, if it is autumn, varieties of colors. Then you may see a beautiful pool down there, which looks so inviting and warm and beautiful. And you slowly descend, and then you are nourished by the water there. Then you see beautiful lotus petals there, which come, they expand, become big, they lift you up into the air, and then you can imagine the way you want. So imagination, there's no science for it, I think. It's very natural in us. All you need to do is close your eyes and think about what you want. That's imagination.
Yes, sir. I guess he got the answer, and he tells thank you very much, sir.
Okay, great.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session.
Is that all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, friends out there. God bless you. Be happy and well. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Take care.